Hi, everyone. Welcome to this session about ArcGIS Online best practices for securely sharing data and apps across organizations. My name is Kelly Giroux Wilcox. I'm a product manager with ArcGIS Online, and I'm here with Sentha, who's going to introduce herself in just a second. We're going to talk today a lot about some new functionality that's coming out next week called partnered collaboration. And we've been working on this for a while. We're really excited to present it to you so that you can all learn kind of this new enhanced way of sharing information across organizations. We do have a Q&A at the end of this session. So if you want to put some questions into the Slido application, Marianne Ferretta, the magical moderator, is also here, and she's going to be helping us through the questions at the end. So make sure that you're asking along. And Sentha, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Good morning or good day, wherever you are. My name is Sentha Sivabalan, and I'm a program manager in the ArcGIS Online team. Welcome to today's session. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be looking at sharing data and apps across organizations. So I'm going to touch very briefly on what it means to share items in ArcGIS Online, very, very briefly. And then we're going to look at enhanced sharing through collaborations. We'll touch again very briefly on distributed collaborations that's already out there. And then we are going to delve into partner collaborations, which is a new feature we're going to be releasing next week. And we're going to look at partner collaborations, how it works, how it enhances working in groups, how to administer these partner collaborations, and then Kelly is going to go over some collaboration scenarios that's going to let you put all of this into context. All right, so what does it mean to share items in ArcGIS Online? When you create an item, the default is that only you as the owner of the item has access to it. And you can set the sharing level in order to share it widely. You can set it to organization, in which case that item is available to your full organization, or you could share with everyone in ArcGIS Online. Now, if you want to share with specific people, you would do that through groups. Here, there's a group, and there's the owner of the group, and they've got an item that they want to share. They can invite somebody else from their own organization, that person could bring their items. Now that all of the items in the group is shared with everybody in the group, and it's also possible to invite somebody that is from outside of the organization. Now, only people who are in the organization can be made into a group manager, in which case they have access to change all of the properties of the group, as well as add new people into the group. And you could do this across multiple groups. All right. Now, what is this collaboration? Collaborations are trusted relationships between organizations that's going to let them work even more closely together. We already have something called the distributed collaboration. This is the collaborations that are available between one ArcGIS Online organization and multiple ArcGIS enterprise organizations. And the way this helps you work better together is it allows you to sync copies of items in groups. So in this case, the blue organization has a group that's participating in a collaboration. It has only people from that blue organization, and they put a map in there, and that map gets synced over to another. It's transferred over as a copy to the pink organization. And when it gets over to the pink organization owns the copy of the map. And from that point on, this map is kept in sync between the blue and the pink organizations. So that's how distributed collaboration works. It works by item replication and keeping the two copies in sync. What's new is partner collaborations. It's new in next week's release of ArcGIS Online, and it allows two ArcGIS Online organizations to work closely with each other's items and members in groups. So this means that the blue organization has a group. There's a member of the pink organization in that group who brought their map along with them. And all of the people in that group or members from the blue organization and the pink organization with items from the blue organization and the pink organization are all working together. So that is what partner collaboration lets you do, it's group sharing, but there's it's group sharing on steroids. So we're going to learn about what increased functionality that partner collaboration brings to group share, working together in groups. To do that, we are going to look at this organization. It's Blue Ink, and it's planning to partner with 2 other organizations. One of them is Green Ink, and it's established a partner collaboration. And Blue Ink sets up a panel of collaboration coordinators, and so does Green Ink. The collaboration coordinators are a special designation that I know that these are people who represent that organization in all partner collaborations. Now they are ready to start working together closer in groups. One of the ways that they could work closer is in a shared update group. Right now, without partner collaborations, shared update groups can only have members from their own organization. With partner collaborations, members from partner organization can work together in shared update groups and update the same, say, web maps and other items. Now, Blue Ink creates a collaboration with Red Ink, which has its own panel of collaboration coordinators. And Blue Ink creates a group, and it has members from Blue Ink. Now, instead of simply inviting somebody from Red Ink, with partner collaboration, what becomes possible is for a member in the group owner in Blue Ink to be able to add, without an invite, a collaboration coordinator from Red Ink. So that's what's happened right now. And it's also possible to make them the group manager so that they could turn around and add somebody else from their organization, which facilitates group sharing a lot. So, and they could bring their own content, and the same thing can happen with Green Ink as well. Now, this is very powerful because you could get a group up and running in a pinch. Say there's a disaster response scenario, it's very quick. You could get the whole group together without waiting for somebody to see the invite, go and accept it. None of that is needed. You don't even need to know who you need to collaborate with in the other organization, because you could start with the collaboration coordinators. Okay, very powerful stuff. And Red Ink could do the same thing. Now, note that Red Ink does not have a collaboration with Green Ink, so it cannot make somebody from Green Ink the group manager, but it could add that member from Green Ink to this organization. So with partner collaborations, lots of power here. It's a lot easier to add members from partner collaborations to a group, and collaboration coordinators from partner organizations can be made into group managers. They can add members from their own organizations without an invite. Shared update groups can have members from partner organizations. It's also easy to find groups from specific partner organizations. We're going to look into that a little bit. All right, so what does it mean to work in groups? So when you're working with external members of other organizations and groups, without a collaboration, when you want to find somebody and add them to a group or invite them to a group, you can only search for people with public profiles, or you're going to have to know their username. But with partner collaborations, you have access to members in that organization who have a profile. Their profile is only visible to their own organization, provided you have the right privileges and that organization lets you access those members. And that's something that we will get into more detail. So there's more visibility of members in your partner organizations. And then you can add members to a group without an invite with a partner collaboration, provided that person is a collaboration coordinator. And you can also promote these collaboration coordinators into group managers. So those two features are pretty powerful, and they're enabled through this designation, collaboration coordinator. And it's also possible to collaborate with partnered organizations in shared update groups. And what we think you'll really find exciting, whether or not you use partner collaborations, is that you're going to be able to go into your groups page and filter for groups with members from other organizations. If you have a partner collaboration, you're going to also be able to find members from a specific partner collaboration. It's really powerful because it's like, oh, I've got all these groups, you know, which are the ones with where I'm working with, say, the city of Pleasantville. Now you can go and find out. And similarly, when you go into a specific group, you can go to the members tab and you could see now that there's somebody from another organization. These are the members from another organization. And if you have partner collaborations, you can see these are the members from, say, the city of Pleasantville with whom I have a partner collaboration. All right. And what is this collaboration coordinators? This is one of the most important parts of what makes partner collaborations really work so well. It's a new designation in the organization. These collaboration coordinators, they represent their organization across all partner collaborations. And in a partner organizations group, in an external group, the collaboration coordinators are the easiest people to find. If somebody wants to invite them, they're super easy to find, and they can be directly added to that group. And in this case here, when you're inviting somebody, when you're going to search outside outside your own organization, the first people you see are the collaboration coordinators, and you don't need to know their names. You can say, you know, I want to look for somebody from the city of Pleasantville. There's Cannon, and you can just go from there. And these are the folks who could be promoted to group managers. So when you go into your group page and you're looking at the members tab, you're going to see the list of members. You're going to see their affiliation. If you have a partner collaboration, you can see that they're actually from, say, city of Pleasantville. And you can see that they are a collaboration coordinator, that little icon with a badge, person with a badge, that's a collaboration coordinator, and you can make them a group manager. All right. So to facilitate all of this is a new property on a group as a setting, who can be in this group. So this is something that you can set up when you create a group, or after we release next week, when you go and look at your existing groups, you're going to see the setting. And by default, your group can have members from your own organization. That's the default because it's the most secure default. And what we're going to do for existing groups is that we're going to look at the time that we deploy, we're going to see, hey, does your group have members from outside the organization? If it does, we'll set it to set the membership to be open to any organization's members. If not, we will default it to my organization's members, because again, it's the most secure default. Anything else, when you open it up, you should do it intentionally, and you could do it at any time. You could open it up to partner organizations. If you have partner collaborations, you could open it up all the way up to any other organization's members as well. All right, and how do you get external members to groups? There's a new privilege that we've introduced in order for admins to have more control over this. The new privilege is called add members from other organizations. If you've had a role where you've been able to add members from outside the organization, you will continue to do so. And that's with our default roles as well as your custom roles. And the two ways you can add people from outside the organization. If it's a collaboration coordinator, you can add them without an invite, and you can filter these by the name of your partner organization. And if it's not a collaboration coordinator, you'd have to invite them. You could search for them. Searching members of partner collaborations is a lot easier. So when it comes to inviting members to groups, their profile visibility is very important. If the member's profile visibility, the person you want to invite from another organization into a group, or even your own, if their profile is private, then you can't search for them. You'd have to know their actual username. But if their profile visibility is set to organization, then that organization's members would be able to search for them by name. And additionally, the partner organization members, if they have the right privilege, that privilege is called invite members from partner organizations, they'd be able to search for members visible to just their organizations if that member's organization allows access to that partner organization for searching. So there's checks and balances on both sides. If the member's profile visibility is set to everyone, then any signed in ArcGIS Online user would be able to search for that user and add them to a group. All right. So once somebody is in the group, how do you work with them? If you go to the members tab in the group, you could see their organizational affiliation. It'll be just other. If you don't have any partner collaborations, if you have a partner collaboration, you actually be able to see that this person is from my partner organization. And if that person is a collaboration coordinator, which you could see, then you could promote them to group manager as well. And how do you work with content in groups? So there's one new functionality in that you can have a shared update group with partner collaboration members. So that's something new. And other than that, the usual group rules apply. Just for us to all have clarity on that. Members can only see the content that is in the group. So if you want to share a web map into that group, and the web map has a layer that's not public, you should share that layer also to that group so that the members of the group can really use that web map. And when members leave a group, their content leaves with them. And if you want to find content from partner collaborations, you can do that in your content page. You can look at all of the content in your groups in the My Groups tab of the content page, or you could go to the groups page and navigate to a specific group and look at the content in that. And of course, all of the content that's available to you, you could browse to from wherever you're browsing to content. For example, in Map Viewer, if you want to add a layer, you'd be able to go and find content from your partner collaborations as well. All right. So now we come into how to administer partner collaborations. All right, so you start a partner collaborations. In order to start a partner collaboration, you're going to invite another organization. And to do that, you need to know the organization URL. And that could be the URL of their homepage. If it is a public organization, then you could just go and find it. If it is not a public organization, then you're going to rely on somebody from the other organization to give you that information so that you can put it in here and invite them. And when you do that invitation, if you haven't already set up collaboration coordinators, you'd be asked to set up collaboration coordinators. And once you've set it up, there are some administrative controls that if you're as an administrator, you would have. There's a new privilege, like I talked about, that allows you to have control on how sharing happens outside the organization. Add members from other organization, that's a new privilege. And this controls who can share outside the organization. And this is in the user, publisher, and the new facilitator role, administrator role, as well as all of the custom roles that you've got that are able to create groups. They'll get this new privilege. And you have another new privilege that helps administrators control who can search for partner collaboration members with organization profile visibility. So if a partner collaboration member is only visible to their organization and that organization is letting you look at those members, then on your side of the you have control over who you're going to give access to this ability to search. And that's privilege is called invite partner collaboration members, and it's in the facilitator and administrator default roles. And as an administrator, you have new visibility into which groups have external members. So this is very powerful because so far you haven't been able to see, okay, I've got groups in my organization that are sharing, that's got members from outside the organization that's sharing our organization content that way. You weren't able to see it, now you're going to be able to see it as an administrator. And I'll show it to you in just a bit. And you also have new visibility into which group members are from other organizations. Like I mentioned, in a group on the members tab, you're going to be able to filter for members from other organizations. And other administrative controls, there's a new role, facilitator, and this role has all of the privileges from publisher. It's got the new invite partner collaboration members privilege, as well as the privilege to own shared update groups. We've got a new designation, collaboration coordinators. Collaboration coordinators are the people who represent the organization in partner collaborations. They are the easiest people to find. And you're going to see some of this in action in Kelly's demos, and administrator and facilitator roles are required to for somebody to be set up as a collaboration coordinator, and their profile visibility also needs to be public. All right, when it comes, when your collaboration has run its course and it's time to end it, we have a really nice way for you to see what's going on in the collaboration and end it in a very intentional manner. And I'm going to show this to you in a demo. So time for a demo. Okay, so now I have this organization, Riparian Rights Coalition, and I've just signed in, and I can see that I can set up a partner collaboration. I've got a little help tip here, and it's in settings in the existing collaborations tab, and I can go and start a partner collaboration. So I'm going to do this. The thing that I need here is the URL of this organization I want to collaborate with. And it's a public organization, so immediately I get feedback saying that, oh, that's the National Cycling Association. If it's a private organization, you're just going to have to trust that you got the URL right. Okay, and I have one option, whether or not I want to grant access to search for my organization members. I'm going to keep that on. I want National Cycling Association to be able to find my members easily so that we can collaborate better. And I'm going to start the collaboration. So the request would have been sent. Now, it so happens this is my first collaboration. I haven't set up my collaboration coordinators yet. So I have the ability, I'm being prompted to do that right now. And I am going to find people, Chris and let's see, Helen. So I'm going to add 2 people as my collaboration coordinators, and I am up and running in the sense that all I need to do is wait for that request to be accepted. So this is the request, and I'm still waiting to hear back from the National Cycling Association. So here now I am changing hats. I'm the administrator of the National Cycling Association organization. Just gonna, I'm on the collaborations tab of my settings page. I'm gonna refresh it. And I'm gonna see that I have a collaboration request from Riparian Rights. I am going to accept it. And I have the option here as well on whether I want to grant access to search for my organization members, for Riparian Rights to search for my organization members. Okay, and I'm going to grant access. So I've accepted the invite, and I'm up and running. And if I happen to already have a couple of collaborations, and if you look at this, I can go and look at the details of these collaborations. I can say, all right, who are the collaboration coordinators for City of Pleasantville? And what are the groups that I am actually collaborating with the City of Pleasantville in my organization with? So these are, just at a quick glance, you can find out. And more information is also available. For example, I told you that I may be interested in going to my groups page and seeing what's going on in my organization. And I'm looking at my own groups here, but as an administrator, I'd want to go and look at all of the groups in my organization. And there's some new filters here that are very useful. One of them is the group membership setting. These are the groups that only allow members from my organization. And I want to say, hey, what about groups that allow members from partnered organizations? Do I have any groups that allow members from any organization? So easy way to find out how groups allow members, external members. And this information is also on the group itself as a badge. Now, that's good and all that, these are the groups that allow members from various other organizations, but I also want to know which groups currently have members from other organizations. So want to look at all of the groups in my organization that have members from other organizations. Super useful information for me as an administrator. And once in a while, I want to say, hey, I want to look at the city of Pleasantville and all of the groups that have members from city of Pleasantville. Here are the couple of groups with members from city of Pleasantville. Now, if I want to actually go into that group itself, I can go in there and go into the members tab. And here I can see that, oh, there's the organizational affiliation. I can see that I've got a group manager from the city of Pleasantville, and I've got somebody from another organization that I don't have a partnership with, or partner collaboration with. And I could also filter. Say I have like a lot of group members that I can just see at a glance. I can filter for members from the city of Pleasantville or from other organizations. So lots of control for the administrator. And say collaboration has come to its end of its life cycle and it's time to end it. So I'm going to show you how it's possible to end with a review. So here I'm ending the collaboration. I have the option to end it immediately, or I have the option to review and end it. That's the recommended approach. And when I look at what's going on, I see that there are some groups that only permit partner collaboration members. So if this collaboration ends, that means that members from the partner organization, City of Pleasantville, will be removed along with their content when the collaboration ends from these groups that only permit partner collaborations. And then there are groups that permit any organization's members that have members from City of Pleasantville, they will remain. And it's up to you to just look at these and do any cleanup before you end the collaboration. And there could be groups that are owned by the City of Pleasantville that, as an administrator of your organization, you can look at their groups. However, you've got your collaboration coordinators, and it's a good idea to check with your collaboration coordinators to see what's going on in City of Pleasantville groups. What groups are they in? If there's any content and members that need to be pulled out to do that cleanup before you end the collaboration. And always a good idea to talk to that other organization to make sure that you both have agreement on ending the collaboration. So I'm not actually going to end the collaboration because Kelly is going to show you some scenarios. Over to Kelly.
Awesome. Thanks, Santha. I'm just going to share my screen. That was awesome and excellent. Okay, I think, yep, perfect. Thank you all for watching me figure out how to share my screen. That was a really great background on some of the concepts that I'm going to talk about next about partnered collaboration and getting started. I've seen a lot of great questions come in. Hopefully we'll answer some of them with the demo, or Santha answered some of them, but we can always go back and chat through them. They're really great questions that are coming in. All right, so getting started with collaboration, with partnered collaboration. All right, so I'm just going to revisit a couple concepts that Santha revisited, because there's a lot with collaboration in that there's a lot of different ways people want to collaborate together. So it really comes down to how exactly you want to configure the new settings and capabilities that we put into partner collaboration. So just as a review, the advantage of actually having that partnership or that partner collaboration set up, the formal collaboration set up between two organizations, is that you get the ability to search members in a partnered organization. You can potentially use a shared update group with members from a partnered organization. There's improved member and content management through collaboration coordinators. And there's also the ability to view the organization affiliation like Santha demoed. This is really great. And the scenarios that I'll go through will touch on kind of some of these huge advantages for setting up that formal partnered collaboration. So it's great. We've kind of gone through the concept and we're ready to collaborate. And you might have noticed a couple words or some things floating through your head, like what are the rules? Groups, what about update capabilities, security? What happens when it ends? What does a group manager do? What about roles and privileges? So it's often a little bit overwhelming to start to take these new capabilities and put them in to accomplish a new workflow. So if we think about it, here are some of the things that we've heard from customers about what they want to do to work together. So they want to work with a neighboring city to understand their construction road data, seeing their actual data privately as it's being updated. Or they want to work together with a region on a single web application. Sometimes states want to work together and share their county evacuation orders so that you can get a whole picture of the data in a certain region. Also just working on secure projects with members from other organizations, being able to enable, just one department in your organization if it's in a different organization that you don't want to share publicly. And you can read the rest of the examples. So I'm going to talk through two of the main scenarios. You might have noticed there's a little bit of repetition in those examples, and it's going to be project collaboration and event collaboration. So with project collaboration, we're really talking about two organizations working together to create something. So for this scenario, we're going to use our imaginations or go through this fictitious scenario where I've got two groups, the city of Pleasantville, and by groups, I mean groups of people. So actually like organizations, we've got the city of Pleasantville and the National Cycling Association. And they really want to work together to create promotional material for a cycling event that's happening in the city of Pleasantville. So I've got Derek here, who's a marketing analyst, and I've got Christina, who's a GIS analyst. As you can see in the diagram, I have a formal partnered collaboration set up, which has already been set up by my administrator. We've already identified that these two organizations want to work together with some additional capabilities that come with partnered collaboration. They also have their own data. Derek's got some information about official locations, also supporting assets like where are they going to put toilets or water stations or first aid sites that the National Cycling Association controls. And then Christina, who works for the city of Pleasantville, has roads data, has a proposed route data, and together they want to work on a map, a promotional race story map, and potentially even a registration form using Survey 123. So they have some shared content that they want to create together and then eventually share out to the public. So if we take a quick look at what they want to do, project outcomes, they need to create a combined web map. They need to work on the same data set, so a route, to agree on the correct route, and then eventually they want to share the information publicly. If we look at what the users actually look like, we've got Christina. She's a publisher in her organization. She's got her profile is visible to the organization. She's a GIS analyst. Derek, he's actually got the facilitator role in the organization, and he is one of the identified collaboration coordinators in his organization. His profiles of it is visible to everyone, and he's a marketing analyst. For this particular scenario, being a collaboration coordinator isn't as key. That's going to be a little bit more talked about in the next scenario, but because of how he is going to work overall in the organization, he is a collaborator. He is a designated collaboration coordinator. And yeah, they're going to create layers, maps, and apps together. So here are some of the quick steps that they need to actually set up the project collaboration, and I'll demo these in just a second. So with the partnered collaboration, the partnered collaboration is already established between the Pleasantville and the cycling organization administrators. So it's not either Christina or Derek who have actually set up this partnered collaboration. It's an administrator who's already set this up. Kind of once the collaboration is set up, they already have these capabilities through group sharing and group creation to then just enable their whole organization to work together. So steps, Derek's going to create a group. Derek's going to search for Christina and then send her an invitation to the group. And then both Derek and Christina are going to share content with the group so that they can create create content together. If we take a look at the group settings, there's kind of two main settings that set this type of collaboration apart from the event collaboration that I'll demo. So most of this is that for every group, you set up a name, summary, tags, but then for this group membership, who's going to be a member of this, who can be a member of this group? I'm going to select partnered collaboration and my organization members only. That's going to give me the ability to enable the group designation of shared update capabilities on this group. If I set it to any organization's members, I'm not going to be able to participate in a shared update capabilities group. So it is important to set this setting right if you are going to be using a shared update capabilities group. All right, let's take a look at this. And because I'm going to be signed in as a few different users, I've set up the banner. I've set up the banners so that they should be different. Okay, so I'm going to start off with logged in as Derek. And we can take a look. Derek, he is, if we remember, he is the he's a collaboration coordinator with a facilitator role in the cycling organization. If we take a look at the content, he's got some content created that he's looking to share with his group, and he's already created the group that he's going to be using. So let's just take a look at this group. We can see that it's a partnered collaboration group and that it's a shared update capabilities group just based on the badges. And we can see he's the only member of the collaboration right now. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to search for someone else in this organization. So I'm going to search for someone else, Christina, and she's actually not in my organization. She's in one of the she's in one of my partnered collaboration organizations, and we can see I found her. She's not a collaboration coordinator. She's really just a regular member. And I'm going to go ahead. I found her from the other organization, and I'm going to invite her. Awesome. Great. Now, if I go over to Christina, we'll see that she's actually been invited to this organization. Sorry, to this group. I can go to the invitation. I'm going to go ahead and join this group. Because I was invited, I have to accept the invitation. And now I have the ability to share my content that I've already created with the collaboration group. So I'll go ahead and share this proposed trail route, my event maps, and then my highways data. So I can just go ahead. It's only shared with the organization, but I'm also going to share it with the Pleasantville Trail Championship group. Go ahead and save that. All right. So then if we go back to this group as Derek, I'll make sure that he's added some content into this group. And this is where we can really get to working together. So I'll share this content with the group. Awesome, it's already shared. And now if I go to the group, I'm going to be able to see my content and Christina's content. And now I can interact with this content. I can open it up. If editing's enabled on the layers, we can both work on the layers. But these are the actual layers that are hosted and owned by each individual member. And then if we even take a look at this map, I can go ahead and I'll open it in the map viewer, in the new map viewer. We can take a look at the trail. I'm going to change the style really quickly, just the color. Ooh, red. Great. And then if I go ahead and I save this map, and I've created this map as Derek, and normally if you're not using a shared update capabilities group, you can't actually update a web map that you don't own. But because I'm participating in this partnered collaboration, I'm now moved over to Christina's screen. So I'm working as Christina. I can go take a look at the content. Oh, I need to share this layer. Sorry. I need to share this new map with the Pleasantville project group. And now we can see this map. And as Christina, I can actually come into this map, open it in the new map viewer. And I can add layers to this map, or I can change the actual symbology, and will update to the map. So this is actually really powerful because you can now do this across organizations instead of just with members of your own organization. And huzzah, they're working on content together. So this can be, yeah, very, very powerful, and they're actually working together to create content. So the next thing to talk through is event collaboration, and it's really about working together with a larger group of people. So for this scenario, we're going to have the same cycling organization with a lot of the same players, but we also have this contractor, SafeWatch Inc., who are going to help monitor the race and monitor other layers and data in case of an emergency, so like a fire boundary, wind forecast, and evacuation layers. What's interesting about an event collaboration is we don't always know who is going to participate from the organization from the other partnering organizations to support the event. So in this scenario, I have Derek, and Derek is going to be my collaboration coordinator, the owner of the National Cycling, the collaboration coordinator from the National Cycling Association. I've got Jason, and Jason is going to be the collaboration coordinator, but he's got 3 other members of his group that are actually going to support this race, being Landon, Susan, and Christina. And then for the contractor SafeWatch Inc., I've got Sydney and Jack. And Sydney is collaboration coordinator. She's going to kind of create all of the content. We've got Jack, who's really going to be doing the monitoring to make sure that he's watching everything. So he's going to have a bit of a different role than kind of the other members of this collaboration. So if we take a look at what the diagram looks like for this monitoring group, we have partnered collaborations set up between all of the organizations. So they all have partnered collaborations set up with each other. This will allow them to have those extra capabilities to find their members, add their collaboration coordinators, and then also see the designations of which organization which member is from. They've got some content that they're going to be sharing, and then they've got some content that they want to create together or be able to view together. So really quickly, just to go through the people, what do they want to do? They want to be able to create, Derek's going to need to create some materials, so a dashboard, an evacuation application, and have access to supporting layers that may or may not be needed. He's going to have the group role of a group manager, and that's going to play a bit of a different role than in the last scenario. So he's going to create and share event-specific content with the group. The next one is the City of Pleasantville. So we've got Jason, who's a facilitator and a group manager, and he's really going to be there to manage content and members in the collaboration group. Christina is going to keep data up to date. She's going to create and monitor the dashboard. We've got Landon, who's going to provide evening coverage if something needs to happen overnight. And then Susan is also going to be there to keep the public safety layers up to date. So although Landon, Christina, and Susan are participating in this collaboration, Derek doesn't really know who these people are or what their actual role is, but Jason definitely does. And then if we take a look at the Safe Watching, so that our contractor, we've got Sydney, who's going to be the group manager, and Jack, who actually is a viewer. So it's one of those roles and user types where he can only view content, but he can join a collaboration group. Jack also doesn't have a lot of experience with ArcGIS Online, so really he needs to be able to just log in and be in the right group to be able to see the right content. So for this, the collaboration coordinators are going to be really important. So why? They can be easily found and added directly to the group, and then they can be promoted to a group manager of a group in an organization with a partner in collaboration. And really being that collaboration coordinator and a group manager gives them some extra powers in the group, which makes managing members a whole lot easier. So one, they can add members from their organization directly to the group instead of having to wait for them to actually accept the invitation. And they can also be designated as the only content sharer in the organization through the group settings. So if they really want to control who can share content with the group, they only want specific content shared, you can lock that down in the group properties so that only group managers can share content. They can also modify and change the group settings. So here are the steps. The partner collaborations are set up between every single one of the organizations. And then really, Derek's going to create a group. He's going to add Jason and Sydney to the group and make them group managers. And then Jason will add 3 members to the organization, and Sydney will add Jack to the organization. The proper content will be shared, and then everyone will be able to see it. All right. And here is some of the magic. So we'll go back to Derek. All right. We're going to go to his groups, and we're going to start from the beginning for this group. So for this, I'm going to create an event monitoring group. And we'll call this 2021. All right. So again, for this group membership, I'm going to set it so that just partnered collaboration and my organization members can join. I'm still going to keep this as only people who are invited can actually join this group. Who can view this? I'm going to say all organization members can view the group, and then who can contribute content to the group. I'm actually going to keep this as all group members because of how I have this, because of the people who own the content that I want shared in this. But if I did want more control, I could set it up so it was just the group owners and managers. I'm not going to turn on shared update capabilities groups because I really just want people sharing content and creating new content with layers that I'm sharing. I don't want them to be able to actually edit and modify the content that's been shared. Great. So now my group's being created. We can see it's a partnered group, and I'm going to go ahead and invite some members. So I'll go ahead and take a look at my collaboration coordinators. So I know that I'm going to be working with Jason from the City of Pleasantville, and I'm going to be working with Sydney from Safety Watch. So I'll go ahead and I have this option to add organization members and collaboration coordinators without requiring a confirmation. So they're just automatically going to be in the group. So I've added them. Now when I go to the members tab, hooray, they're in the group. They're ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and change their group role so that they are managers now. And now they have the power to do exactly what they need for content management and for member management in the organization. So if I go in, I've got to sign out. I'm going to sign in as Jason for the City of Pleasantville. So now I'm logged in as the collaboration coordinator. You can see that I'm a member of this new monitoring group. Ooh, it's a group O. I guess that's a typo. This is where it would be great to have an audience chuckling. All right. So we can see I'm a group manager. So what I can actually do now is invite members. And I know that I want Christina, Landon, and Susan to be added to the group. And because I'm a collaboration coordinator and these members are in my group, I can just add them again without needing them to accept the invitation. So I'll just add the members to a group. They're there, they're ready to get the information that they need. As Sydney, I can do the same thing. We'll go to my groups. And this time, again, it's a little different because I'm inviting and adding someone who just has a viewer role. But it's the same workflow. I'm just going to go in, invite some users. I'm going to look for Jack. And again, I'm just going to add him right to the organization. So he's in there and he can see all of the content that he needs to see. I'll go back as Derek, take a look at my content. Oh, no, sorry, I need to be Jason and take a look at the content that Jason has created. And this is where my monitoring application actually is. So I'll go ahead and share this content with the monitoring group. And if I was signed in as Christina, I would share some of those layers too. But now either Sydney or Jack or anyone who's a member of this group can easily view this secure content. Oh, actually, I'll go back through my groups. So if I go to my groups, I can see this content, open it up. Jason's still the owner of it, but I can actually view the application and take a look at the trails. Excellent. All right. And I think that's about it for right now. So I think it is time to hand it back over to Marianne for questions.
Hey everyone, I'm Marianne Ferretta. Thank you so much, Kelly. That was great. And rest assured, we did get a few chuckles from the group. So even though we're not together live, we can still giggle at each other's typos. Thank you for that. And we'll welcome back Sentha. Everyone, we have so many questions. Thank you so much for participating. I know everyone is very excited about this new functionality. If we don't get to your question live, you're welcome to reach out to any of us directly or add your name to the question you posted and we'll be happy to follow up with you. I'd like to answer the biggest question that we got right off the bat, which is, can I have these slides, these fantastic slides? And the answer to that is yes, these slides will be available at proceedings.esri.com, which is also in the announcement on your screen to the right there. And with that, let's get started with our questions. The first question that we have after that one, Kelly, in collaboration, can two organizations look at the same version of data as opposed to a copy of the data?
And the answer is yes. So that is really the big difference between partnered collaboration and distributed collaboration, and that you are working with those actual items that are in the ArcGIS Online system. There isn't any copying. You're really working right with those that content.
Thank you. Is it now or will it ever be possible for collaborations between an ArcGIS enterprise site and an ArcGIS Online organization in order to allow the online organization members access to the enterprise content?
I'm going to Sentha take that one because she's
Okay.
already answered it.
Yes. So yeah, it's already possible using distributed collaborations. When you set up a distributed collaboration between one ArcGIS Online organization and you could have several enterprise organizations, whatever content is shared through that distributed collaboration gets copied over and it's kept in sync. So it's already possible. Go look up distributed collaborations.
And then I think to add that into kind of what would happen with a partnered collaboration is once that item is copied into ArcGIS Online, regular group sharing rules apply. So it can then participate in a partnered collaboration group or really any type of group sharing that you have.
Thank you. Next question is, if content is created by a user from a partnered organization, can the content's owner be changed to somebody from the other organization so that the content isn't lost if the user leaves the group?
And the answer there is no. You can't move content between organizations, so that content is still going to stay within the organization. So you can transfer the content to another member within the same organization, but there's no changing of content between organizations.
There was a question as well on the same thing, on the same topic, and there are certain scenarios where there's like a valid reason to do this. Maybe you're doing a consultation. That's something that we are looking into in the future, where you want to transfer content over, but that's not a part of this new feature.
That's great, thank you. Can I have multiple collaborations with different organizations?
And the answer is yes. So I did show a collaboration with 3 different organizations. Right now, there's a limit of 10 organizations that you can collaborate with. But again, that's something that we've set up to make sure that kind of when people are setting up these collaborations, it's intentional. And we do want to understand if there are use cases for more than 10. So if you are setting up collaborations and you're like, hey, I need way more than 10, please just get in touch with your account manager, get in contact with us, and we can kind of work through what that is and whether or not we can increase that limit or not. But for right now, the limit's 10.
Great, thank you. Santha, I have a question here for you. How does a hub organization figure into this overall context of partnered organizations?
That is an excellent question. A hub organization is actually made up of if you have Hub Premium, you've got the employee organization and a community organization. Consider these 2 organizations to have a partner collaboration plus extra features. So all of the features that you see in partner collaborations will be inherited by the hub and community organizations that really work together. And in addition, you could, of course, set up partner collaboration with other community partners that are not just these 2 organizations. For example, in the community, you may be partnering with a university, with press organizations. You could set up partner collaboration with all of these organizations as well.
Great, thank you. Kelly, another one here for you. What is the simplest way to share content from Portal for ArcGIS to ArcGIS Online and keep them in sync? Can you explain those steps at a high level?
Yes, and it's very similar to kind of what Santha just explained, but what you would do is, let's say you have 2 organizations, you have your ArcGIS Enterprise organization or portal and your ArcGIS Online organization. You would set that up as a distributed collaboration so that the data is synchronized. And then you would take that data that's been synchronized up to ArcGIS Online and share that with other organizations. So it's really about kind of having these buddy organizations that participate in this buddy or like this partnership in the distributed collaboration to get the data from your enterprise system to ArcGIS Online.
Thank you. And while we're with you, does adding a member from another org use a named user license?
No, it doesn't. Well, it does, but it does in the user's organization. So you're really taking that identity that already exists and that the user already has and just using that as a secure sharing model. So it doesn't count against your named users. Again, they would already have a named user account created because it exists.
Right. And in the same vein, is there a way to, what license level do you need to be a collaboration coordinator?
Right, so license level, so there's kind of two parts. There's kind of what the user type is. So the user type needs to be compatible with the facilitator or administrator role. So it needs to be a creator, GIS professional or GIS professional. And then it needs to have the actual user role of either an administrator or an administrator or a facilitator.
Thank you. It looks like that's all the time that we have for questions. I think that went by so fast. There's so many questions left. Everybody feel free to contact us directly, please. And please put your name on your question if you like, and we'll be glad to follow up.
Well,
Thank you
I'll
so
also
much.
try and get these questions addressed in our blog that's coming out with this functionality next week.